Welcome back to the English Pulse. I'm James.
And I'm Chloe. Today we're talking about that social freeze, the moment you walk into a room of native speakers and your mind goes blank.
Now, if you're like most people, you probably think the solution is simple. You just need to memorize 500 more idioms and master your grammar.
Exactly. We predict that if we just study harder, the fear will go away. But here's the truth, and it might surprise you. Having more words can actually make you more anxious.
It sounds crazy, right? But the more you focus on perfect English, the more you ignore the person in front of you. Today, we're revealing why the social anchor is more powerful than any dictionary. And later, I'll show you why being imperfect is actually your best strategy to win the room.
Wait, being imperfect is a strategy? Now I'm curious. Let's dive in.
Chloe, when you feel nervous in a new group, what's your default move?
Oh, I try to act like I'm totally fine. I use big words and hope nobody asks me a question I can't answer. I'm basically performing.
And that's the trap. That performance is actually what makes you feel like a fish out of water. Because you're trying to be someone else, you have no anchor.
So instead of performing, I should be anchoring. How does that work in real life? I really want to know how to actually drop an anchor when my heart is racing and I'm worried about my English grammar.
I know how you feel. That's where the first step comes in, which is feeling steady. It is called the internal check-in. Before you even open your mouth to speak English, you need to find your anchor inside.
Wait, I think I need a bit more help with that. Is it like a mantra? Do I just stand in the corner and whisper to myself?
Not quite. It's more of a mental reset. You just remind yourself of one thing that is true about you, regardless of how your English sounds. For example, I am a kind person, or I am a curious traveler.
Oh, so if I forget a word or my accent feels heavy, it doesn't matter as much because my value doesn't change. It's like having a home base in my mind.
Exactly. It keeps you from feeling like a fish out of water. Now there's your second way to stay steady, the physical anchor. I usually just touch my watch. It reminds me to slow down and breathe.
That's a great tip, and it seems very simple. It's like a secret signal to yourself to keep your feet on the ground.
It's simple but logical. If your value is that you're a listener, then forgetting a word doesn't sink you. You're still a great listener.
Wow, so I'm not there to show off my English. I'm there to fulfill my value. That's a total shift in perspective. But how do I actually start, even if I feel steady? I can't just stand there with my anchor.
Great question. They try to break into the biggest, loudest group in the room. This is where most people get it wrong. That brings us to our third way, the open you strategy. Don't try to break into a tight circle of people. Look for a group shaped like a U. There's a physical gap there waiting for you.
That makes so much sense. It's much easier than trying to force your way into a private conversation. And once I'm in that gap, what do I say?
Use the fourth way, the honest bridge. Just say, I'm still finding my feet here. Do you mind if I join you?
Finding my feet. I love that. It's honest, but it doesn't sound weak. It's way better than just standing there in silence.
Exactly. Most people are in the same boat. When you admit you're a bit nervous, it actually breaks the ice for everyone else. And focus on why. Instead of asking, what is your job, ask, what brought you here tonight? It shifts the focus from boring facts to real stories.
But wait, you said earlier that being imperfect is a strategy. Are we at that part yet? Because that sounds like the missing piece.
We are. This is the secret, showing your hand. When you admit you're a little nervous or that you're still learning, you actually break the ice for everyone else.
Because they're all in the same boat.
Exactly. When you are honest about your struggle, you become the most human person in the room. People trust human more than they trust perfect.
That is so comforting. So by doing these 6 things, the internal check-in, the physical anchor, the open you, the bridge, the why questions, and being honest, we're not just surviving, we're actually leading.
You nailed it. If you're using these social bridges, you're doing incredible. Before we head out today, I just want to say one thing to everyone listening. It's okay to feel nervous. Even people who have spoken English their whole lives feel like a fish out of water sometimes.
That's so true. The goal isn't to be a perfect speaker. The goal is to be a person who shows up and connects. That alone is a huge win.
Exactly. If you're trying these strategies, you're already ahead of the game. So for your pulse check challenge this week, try just one of these techniques. Maybe it's an internal check-in before a meeting, or using an honest bridge when you join a group.
Just one. And to help you out, let's quickly recap the phrases we used today.
Here we go. Internal check-in, briefly stopping to check your own feelings and values. You might say something like, before the interview, I did a quick internal check-in to calm my nerves.
A fish out of water. Feeling uncomfortable in an unfamiliar situation. You might think this way. I felt like a fish out of water at the tech conference, but I used my social anchors to stay steady.
You keep your feet on the ground, staying calm and sensible. An example would be, even when the conversation got difficult, she kept her feet on the ground.
The honest bridge, using a sincere statement to start a conversation. I used an honest bridge by telling the group I was new to the city.
Showing your hand, revealing your true feelings or intentions. Example, by showing his hand and admitting he was nervous, he actually made everyone feel more relaxed.
In the same boat. Being in the same difficult situation as others. Don't worry about making mistakes. Everyone in this class is in the same boat.
Our last phrase is break the ice, to say or do something that makes people feel more relaxed. He told a quick joke about the rainy weather to break the ice.
Thanks for joining us today on the English Pulse. If you found this helpful, make sure to subscribe. This is where we go beyond the basics to help you build the social bridges you need for a successful, confident life in English.
Keep your heart in the conversation and your feet on the ground. See you next time.